When it comes to online reviews, there are the usual suspects. The person who yells at you through their keyboard. The guy who gives you 1 star because he got a parking ticket outside your office. Oh, and of course, the lady who wasn't 100% satisfied with the paint color on your walls. The world of online reviews isn't always fair. And chances are, if you're not actively asking customers to review your business, you're probably going to get more bad than good. That's why there's Podium. Podium has helped thousands of businesses use text messaging to collect hundreds of customer reviews on the sites that matter most. The best part is, it's super easy. It takes 30 seconds or less for your customer to leave a review on their phone, which is proven to get you a lot more reviews. To see a free demo and learn how Podium can help your business's online reputation, visit podium.com/podcast or call 1-833-276-3486 today. Mention this ad for additional savings.
Welcome to the Navigating Dental Insurance Podcast, where we don't take from insurance companies. Here are your hosts, Mr. Jordan Comstock and Mr. Ben Duine. This podcast is sponsored by BoomCloud Dental Membership Software, www.boomcloudapps.com, and Veritas Dental Resources, www.veritasdentalresources.com. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Navigating Dental Insurance Podcast. I am your co-host today, Jordan Comstock. I got Ben on the line. Ben, what's up, dude?
What's up, Jordan? Man, I feel like I've been absent from this podcast for the last several months. You know, right. Doing one here and there with me on it, but thanks for holding down the fort.
Totally,
while
dude.
I've been out.
I've just told people that you've been sleeping in. I'm just teasing.
That's probably close to the truth, except for when I'm traveling. You know, when I travel these days, I don't know what the problem is that when I get to the hotel room, you think that with the peace and quiet, you're going to go to bed. But lately, for the last year, I have not been sleeping when I'm on the road. I don't know what the problem is, but I don't think I have extreme anxiety. Like when I go to bed, and I don't have sleep apnea. You know, I got a sleep device just because. But when I sleep without it, when I'm at home, I'm just fine. You know, I have perfect energy and get full 7 hours and 8 hours, and I'm fine. But maybe a listener can help me diagnose my issue. I should probably go to see a sleep doctor, but I sleep fine at home. But when I'm in the hotel, I can't sleep. I don't know if you have that same problem or not, but it's frustrating.
No, I sleep well wherever I go.
Lucky you.
I can sleep anywhere. It's good. So, all right. So today we got an awesome guest. I think he's been on our show 3 or 4 times. We got Dr. Christopher Phelps. Dr. Phelps, man, how you doing?
Good, guys. How you guys doing?
We're doing good, man. Just starting to enjoy the warmer weather here in Utah.
You know, Dr. Phelps is all over the country too. Do you have that problem that I have? Do you sleep well when you're on the road?
I was going to say I think I could diagnose your problem.
Yeah,
because
it's called working too much.
Yeah. Well, no, it's because I too have noticed the same exact thing that you just said. Because I have been on the road as well, speaking almost every weekend somewhere, and in all kinds of hotels. And I have found usually I'm the kind of guy, I'll go all day, and as soon as my head hits the pillow, I am out like a light. Right? I don't have trouble sleeping, but lately in these hotels, I can't sleep. I don't sleep as well, or I'm up 1,000 times during the night. Yeah. And for me, what I've kind of relegated it to, I think it's the damn pillows. Have you noticed this?
You know what? I think you're right. Because the pillows at the hotel are smaller than the pillows that I have at home, and in fact, it's taken years to find the right pillow even at home. But I have never thought about that. So do you take a pillow with you when you travel?
Well, I'm torn because I don't like to check a bag. But the only way I'm getting my pillow in is if I check a bag. So I usually just leave it at home, but I suffer, and I think that the hotels have gone this trend of getting away from firm pillows, which I realize I need for neck support, and they give you these fluffy things, and your head just disappears into the pillow as soon as you lay down, and it's like you're in a weird neck position, and it's just not comfortable.
I am thinking about last Thursday night. I was in Long Beach, And I can remember moving around at least 100 times trying to situate that pillow to the right position.
Yep.
I think you're right. I'm like you. I don't like to check bags, but I have a trip coming up next week. I'm gonna check a bag. I'm going to San Francisco and see if I can. I'll report back to everybody to see if this technique works. But I think you're right.
Hey,
I was.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Ben.
I was close to going to my physician and asking for some sleep medicine or some anti-anxiety, but I thought about it. I was like, I don't stew. I rest peacefully. When I'm in bed and I can't sleep, I don't think about problems. I don't think about issues, or I don't, my mind doesn't race. All my mind wants to do is sleep, and I can't do it. So I think the pillow thing is a great suggestion. I'm gonna give that a try.
Dudes, I don't even sleep with a pillow. I hate pillows. Yeah, I can go to any. I think that's why I can sleep nice in a hotel. Right, I just throw the pillow on my head over my eyes, and I'm good to go, man.
You're very lucky, Jordan.
Yeah.
But I think you're eventually going to run into the same problem, because the more and more I talk to people that are in hotels, the same thing they say is like, man, it's just getting tougher and tougher and tougher to fall asleep. And then when you get up in the middle of the night for whatever reason, it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you can't fall asleep. Like last week, I fell asleep for 1 hour from I think 2:30 to 3:30. I woke up and I couldn't go to sleep. So, by the time it came around to check out by 8 o'clock in the morning, I was wide awake the entire time. It was frustrating.
Yeah, hopefully I never have that problem. Well, I think you're right. I will.
Yeah, if you find out that's the case for you, because I feel like that's the case for me. I already got designs in my head on how we're going to solve that problem.
I'll shoot you a text.
Yeah,
the funny thing is I was at a 4-day oral conscious sedation course, and a group of doctors out of Canada came down, and I remember one of them talking about having anxiety with flying. So he would get a prescription from his physician for a small dose of triazolam, which is the same pill that most offices use for oral conscious sedation. Halcyon and triazolam, and he would get a small dose. The problem with that is that he said that he couldn't remember anything about the flight.
Yep.
And I thought about that. I was like, should I get a dose? And quickly thinking about it, no way in hell will ever do that, because I don't know how unpredictable I would be, not being fully aware of my surroundings. But yeah, I'm gonna give the pillow thing a shot. I'm gonna check a bag and take a couple pillows from home. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. All right, so today on our show, I wanted to bring Dr. Phelps back on because he's an awesome resource for our industry, and we were chatting here at the DSI conference in Arizona, that I feel the need, based off of what I see in the industry, that practices need to understand some marketing strategies in regards to a membership program. So today that's what we're going to be discussing, and I wanted to bring Dr. Phelps on to get his advice, as he's built a successful membership program in his practice and has written an awesome book that everybody listening, if they haven't read it already, should read, called How to Grow. It's called How to Grow Your is it dental membership program, Dr. Phelps?
How to grow your dental membership plan.
Yeah, make sure I get that right, so when you Google it, you're fine. Cool. So let's start. Some of the problems that I see, Dr. Phelps, is a practice gets really, really excited about setting up an in-house membership program, but then they kind of just sit on it and don't do anything with it. They may talk to a few internal patients, but then they just sit. Why is it so important to do external marketing, in your opinion?
Yeah, well, we talked about this at a previous episode, but I feel like, if you just create your plan and offer it to your existing patients, and that's it, then, or any kind of new patients that are just trickling in on their own, it's kind of a short-term loss, but it should end up as a long-term win if you can make it long enough. So, if everybody that paid cash in your practice last year suddenly gets a 10, 15, 20% discount for the same stuff this year, well, you just took a big hit, right, financially. So,
yeah, totally.
Short-term loss. But on the plus side, if you raise your fees first before you give your discount, it can offset some of that. And if it allows, it's another anchor to keep these patients at your practice, so they have the relationship with you, they have the relationship with the team as an anchor, and now if the membership plan is a third anchor, well, hopefully now they're even less likely to leave your practice and go elsewhere. So you're kind of closing the back door and decreasing that patient attrition number. Decrease your attrition number, that means less in marketing you got to spend to replace those people and get that production back. So it doesn't take as many new patients. So, short-term loss, long-term win. But the idea is that less and less people are going to the dentist right now for any reason, and especially who I think this is really built for, the retirement community, right? The baby boomers. Yeah. And with probably, when I go do my talks with people in these communities, 80-90% of them do not have dental insurance, right? Yeah. And they're not going to see anybody because of that. So it's just missing out on a huge opportunity to really blow up your practice with the perfect ideal patient, in my opinion, who's going to pay your fee, whatever you decide to set that fee after your discount. But there's some strategic ways we need to get this message out so we're not wasting a lot of our marketing efforts. Absolutely. So I've got some ideas for you and ways that I've done and some things I'm investigating for people right now that I hope will work for people as well. So one of the things I'm seeing people is more and more people that are implementing these plans are starting to put this in their advertisement, which is great. And they're using phrases like no insurance, no problem, or what have you, to kind of get people as a headline or a message to get people's attention. So what they don't realize, though, and what I realized is that for those that don't know anything about your practice, whether they're baby boomers or working families, what have you, when you just put this in your advertisement, it's a great message, and I love it, but there's a barrier there that you're not picking up on. It's still going to keep people from picking up the phone and calling and responding to it in your external advertising. Well, I don't care if it's direct mail, if it's on the radio, doesn't matter, okay? And the barrier is this, just like I realized talking to these retirees on site when I would do my wine and cheese events with them, I realized this other barrier they have is they think, well, this savings plan sounds great, but what's the catch? Right? It sounds too good to be true. And so if they're reading this information in an advertisement and you're not there in front of them to counter their doubt or uncertainty, well, guess what? They don't pick up the phone and call. If you're lucky, they'll go to your website to look for more info. And if they satisfy their search there or decrease their uncertainty there, then they might pick up the phone. But that's not what I'm finding for the majority of our clients. So to really make this effective in any kind of external marketing as part of one of your main messages is we got to tap into Robert Cialdini's principles of persuasion. And my favorite principle for marketing and advertising these days is consensus, right? Social proof. Yeah. It's all about what the evidence of what others are doing is going to influence maybe what you're going to do as well. And so the power of consensus is, if you think about it from a nature standpoint, is that think of a school of fish, right? Fish tend to school together. Animals tend to herd together in groups. Why? Because there's safety in numbers. What happens if you're a fish swimming out in the ocean by yourself? Bad things happen. You tend to get eaten. Okay?
Yeah, totally.
But when they school together, it confuses predators, and therefore more fish live as a result. So that's why the information that what others are doing is really powerful. And so when people read that, they're thinking to themselves, wow, it sounds great, but what's the catch, right? It sounds too good to be true. Am I the first one to buy this thing? Am I the first one to using it? So they feel like they might be the first, and nobody likes to be that first person to step out there, right? So to satisfy this, what I recommend is two things. Two of the best principles to decrease uncertainty is use the authority principle and consensus. So what we're going to do is, number one, we're going to find one person that's on your membership plan that's had a great experience and get a testimonial from them. Testimonials speak about your trustworthiness, which speaks to your authority. So and it should say something to the effect of, hey, when I first heard about this savings plan, I thought it was crap, or I thought it was too good to be true. Yeah. But come to find out, guess what? It's not. It's fantastic. It's exactly what it says it is. It's a good deal.
Would you recommend doing like a video testimonial or just written?
Even better. Either format you can get, right? Obviously, video is going to be more powerful. But even with a written form, you can always make a written form out of the video too, right? Totally, yeah. But I'll take whatever I can get. So written at a minimum, video would be phenomenal. And just getting one of those is a great start. That builds your authority. But then if you can get 4 of those, or more than 4, but ideally at least 4, now you're tapping into that consensus principle, right? The evidence of what others are doing and saying. So people will read 4 or more on there and go, oh, okay, so I'm not the first person to get this thing. All right, maybe I'll check it out. I'll try it out. Right? So it's a simple little thing you can add to your advertisement that makes a huge difference, satisfying people's uncertainty, and more people now are going to pick up the phone and call.
Okay, awesome. So you're saying to do some external marketing, whether it's direct mail or Facebook, whatever it is. There's so many channels these days that a practice can do to leverage, marketing. I guess the real problem is when they come to the website or the practice that you need to show social proof and consensus. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, consensus is social proof. So anytime you're advertising this externally, so on your website and on Facebook, in any kind of advertisement, direct mail, radio, TV, whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter. Okay. When you talk about the plan, you have to be most effective so people will pick up the phone and respond. You got to have some authority, and you got to have some social proof or consensus in there. So show them that they're not the first person. Let them know, like if you've had your plan running for a couple of years, let them know. And, we've had over, 800 people sign up for our program.
Yeah, totally. So,
right? So
what about practice?
Use that consensus to let them know they're not the first person.
Okay, awesome. What about practices that are like just getting started and they don't have much social proof to offer? I guess that's the first step. They need to focus on building that. Or do they just make up testimonials and add it?
You definitely want to make up testimonials.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
But in that kind of case, then my favorite of all is what I talk about in the book is the best way, in my opinion, to sell this thing is figure out who you want more of. In my case, it was the baby boomers, the retirees who have money to spend with the right motivation, and find out where they're living, find out where they're congregating. Are they at a community center together? Are they all in a neighborhood together? They all play at the same golf club? Whatever it is, they're all hanging out somewhere. Yeah. Figure out where that is and get yourself in front of them and do an educational style presentation. I like to make those like 10% promotional on the front end. Here's who we are. Here's why we're different than other offices. For those of you that have insurance, we work with your insurance plan. For those of you that don't, well, guess what? We have a savings plan or a membership plan. And here's the details. You got info sitting in front of you. Take it on, look at it. We'd love to talk to you more about it later. And then you go right into the educational piece. So the other 90% is good content, so they feel like they weren't sold. They feel like that you spent good time with them and gave them good content. So there's some reciprocity built in there. And I would kind of use wine and cheese as my hook because I figured, hell, I like to drink wine. So if I can get other people in the room who like wine too, we're probably going to be friends.
Totally. Yeah.
Right, we're going to have a good. And so I wanted to make sure that I was getting my crowd in there. But ice cream socials work too as well. Just bring something in there that will motivate more to show up, something they would want to get or do anyway. The next level I realized that works really well in this kind of grassroots style is something I've been doing called steakhouse seminars.
Oh, awesome.
So
I totally go to those. I love steak.
Yeah, right. I mean, who doesn't like a free meal, especially at a place you like to eat steak anyway, like a Ruth's Chris or a Morton's or what have you. And so I found this company called Leading Response that's been doing this in the financial industry for like 20-some years. And they're just now getting into dentistry, bringing these seminar formats to our profession. And so I talked to dentists all over the country who've either read my book or heard me on podcasts. And the challenge they were finding sometimes is, number one, sometimes it could be hard to get into these retirement communities, to get through the barrier, right, to be able to do a presentation. Because sometimes these communities think you're just soliciting, which is they don't want to come across as soliciting or trying to sell them something.
Yeah,
you want to come across as an educator instead. Or they just literally don't have any communities in their area, like there's none around. And so I've been looking for something for those people as well, a solution for them. And I think the steakhouse seminar thing fits the bill, because you can do this in any nice restaurant. It doesn't have to be a steakhouse. It could be Italian place, right? It could be like Maggiano's or whatever. Anybody that's got space for people to sit down and you can do a presentation and there's food, you can do this. But the idea is that they target market your ideal client with the net worth you're looking for and all those other income credentials, and you invite them out for a free meal. And so I'm doing this. I'll get 30 to 40 people at 2 different dinners. So I'll have like 80 potential new patients, and I'm still giving the same kind of presentation like I did at the retirement communities, but I'm doing it at the steakhouse instead. And again, really promoting the savings plan. And I'm finding almost everyone is leaving not only with an appointment, but they're either buying the plan that night at the steakhouse or they're buying it when they get to the office, either way. And these are, I'm using this for implant patients. I'm getting ortho cases out of it, just regular general dentistry patients. But pretty much everybody leaves with a savings plan, which is that's what you want. They're a little more expensive to do on the front end, because you're paying for the dinners over 2 nights,
Totally.
What have you. My ROI on these things have been like 4 or 5 to 1 in the first month alone.
Really?
And then I just stopped counting after that.
Because you guys are working.
So I'm a real, yeah, exactly. I'm a big fan of the steak seminars. If you can't find your ideal client, then bring them to you.
Totally.
And bringing them to your office isn't going to work, right? You won't get a lot of numbers. You may get like 6 or 7 people, but it's not going to be a big crowd. But going to a steakhouse now, and you could put 40 people 2 different nights. Now you got 80 potential new patients. That's a damn good week, right?
Totally, yeah. How are you tracking these? Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say for like 2 or 3 hours of your time. I mean, it's not hard to make that back.
No way. What are you doing to attract these patients to these seminars you're doing? Are you just sending like the direct mail to inviting them over to the event, or how are you doing that?
Yeah, the company takes care of all that, and they have a call center that schedules them, that RSVPs them for the dinners, and then my team just follows up to confirm that they're going to show. But that's what they do. They do direct mailers. They send out 10,000 mailers to people. They create the list of your high net worth client, whatever. And then in some markets they can do radio ads. So if you want to promote on the radio, you can. So that's their job, is to put the butts in the chair and get people in front of you. Yeah. And then of course it's our job and our position to, now we got to close, right? Now we got to have a great presentation. Like I said, 10% promotional, 90% educational, and try to influence more people to leave liking us and trusting us and wanting to come in to see us, and buying that savings either at the event or when we see them at the office. So
yeah, I think this is a great example of marketing, because you're, number one, attracting patients through the direct mail piece or whatever channel you're using, and then you're doing what is called in marketing terms a lead magnet, where that steakhouse or that wine and cheese event, you're attracting them to that because everybody likes free food. I always go to places when they offer free food, and it's and then after that you're providing education, which is critical in my opinion. It's in regards to marketing. I think practices shouldn't be too salesy. They should be, teachers and education. Use education to promote the business. So I think this is a strategy that I use, with Boom Cloud and in other companies I do. I think targeting those channels, offering something of value, like education and a free meal, and then that's a wonderful way to get exposure for your membership program. I think that's just genius. So
yeah, I think, and from an influence standpoint, remember this, right? When these people show up to the steakhouse dinner, whether they realize it or not, they have made a commitment to spend their money somewhere.
Totally,
right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so what they're searching for in the situation is, all they're looking for now is 2 criteria. Do they like you, and do they trust you? And if you can fit those 2 things in your presentation, then they're going to pick you to spend their money, right? You're where they're going to spend it. So that's why I've tried to stage these presentations to do just that. Make sure they like me, and just the educational content is going to show them that I'm the authority and I know what I'm talking about, so they can trust me, and they trust that I know what when I give them advice, it's sound advice for their dental care. So
yeah, very cool. Well, have you used any online marketing channels like Facebook ads or like Google search ads at all with this concept?
I haven't, mostly because I haven't needed to,
Okay.
Just going to the retirement companies. Yeah, it was bringing more than enough patients in. Kind of another cool thing I've been experimenting with is, again, how can we influence people who already have a list or a market to market for us, right?
Totally.
And we you and I were talking about this, and there's people out there that's their sole job is just to sell insurance, right? They're insurance brokers.
Yeah, insurance brokers.
They sell medical, they sell dental. But as I mentioned earlier, I'm finding from talking to some of these brokers that are in my chair, right, my own patients, that they're struggling right now because guess what? People aren't buying dental insurance anymore. In fact, if only 35% of the population in the U.S. has insurance right now, every year that's getting less and less and less. So if they're making money off of selling dental insurance, guess what? They're not making money. So they're actually primed and looking for other avenues to add revenue streams. So I was talking to one of them recently about my membership plan and about saying, hey, what do you think about offering my membership plan in addition to these insurance plans? And we'll figure out a commission that works for you, that makes it worth both of our times. And maybe, look, I'm due to raise my fees anyway. So guess what? I'll build in their commission into the sales. So
there you go.
It really doesn't even have to cost me anything.
Awesome.
But they've got lists of thousands of retirees and people that fit our criteria that they're already marketing to. Let them get out there and sell for us.
And there's
instead.
no,
so turn them into Salesforce.
Do they need a certain license to do that, or they?
No,
I mean, Ben,
it's like selling Costco membership plans.
Yeah, I guess,
right?
I guess yeah. Yes. Yeah, Ben, have you seen anything like that in your days with? I know you've communicated with some insurance brokers and things like that. Would love to hear your thoughts there.
Well, from a licensing perspective, for as long as you represent it as not dental insurance, you don't need a license. Yeah. But there's one thing that some groups are doing now, some dental offices and dental groups, is they may have a relationship either with a union or a large employer group in the area, and they'll have the union or employer group switch to an ERISA plan, a self-funded plan, which basically a self-funded plan doesn't necessarily mean self-insurance. The employer can participate in paying a portion of the membership fees to that dental practice, but you can get the entire employer to commit as a whole to switching their people from their existing dental plan to your dental plan or your membership program using a form called the 5500 form. If you Google 5500 ERISA, you can find the form that the employers need to fill out. And this is for I get this question all the time is, can I convert my in-house membership plan to a gold standard package plan for GoDaddy? They're right next door. They want to send all their patients to our office, or even a smaller employer group that may have 50 or less employees. Yeah, you can totally do that. You can have them. You can either sell it individually to the patients, but if you want to get the employer involved, do it under a self-funded plan, an ERISA self-funded plan, and the 5500 form is what I've learned that needs to be filled out. And you don't have to be a broker. You don't necessarily need to have a license to do that, simply because the self-funded plans don't have licensing requirements where brokers need to get involved. But yeah, those are the two areas that I see at least many dental practices looking into across the country. But kind of like the idea about the steak, the wine and cheese, and the steak dinners. We actually used to do that too. The group practice that I work for in Arizona, we did. Actually, we would pack in a bunch of people to Golden Corral.
Nice.
And the funny thing is that most people showed up were senior citizens, the older folks, and so we found a niche in terms of the restaurant types that the seniors like to go to, and then of course the time of day. Sometimes we did the meetings in the evening. The evenings we got less attendance, but more families. But the midday, the lunchtime hour, we usually got like a room jam-packed full of senior citizens. I don't know if it's been the same for you, Dr. Phelps, but that's kind of what we've seen in certain communities. I know that's not the same everywhere you go, but I think it's something to consider. What time of day and what day of the week are you going to maximize people attending your meetings, and who your target market is.
Totally.
Yeah, definitely.
How,
I'd find, yep.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, I would find that when I would go to the retirement communities themselves to do these events, I had to do it, it's like 4:30 in the afternoon when I was doing it. And because as soon as like 5:30 hit, if they weren't eating, I'm getting mean. So
some of them have to take their meds, before 5 or 6 o'clock, and by 7 o'clock, they're lights out, at these centers. They're all sleeping.
Yeah. So I have a question here. What And I've spoken to lots of dental practices that want to create a like a commission package for brokers, which I think is a genius idea. What type of commission would you do? Like a one-time commission, or I know they're probably used to a small residual commission. Have you thought about any ideas on that, Dr. Phelps?
No, because I'm still trying to get feedback from them on
On how to
how are they getting paid, and what's the bigger opportunity for them? Because obviously I want to make it a win-win for both sides, but at the same time we still have to make money off of it.
Of course, yeah.
We definitely lose money. So I'm open to both, and like most things, people need a choice, right? And so I want to have two options. One, maybe it's a bigger piece, but you get a one time, or would you rather have a smaller cut, but consistently every month, like you said, that residual.
Yeah.
And then volume is how they make their money.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
I would kind of leave it up to the individual and say whatever motivates them more. I mean, I don't really care either way, right? So as long as the numbers.
Yeah, no, I agree. So that's something to consider if any of the practices out there are thinking of doing that, which I know a handful of them are that listen to our podcast. So yeah, keep experimenting with that, Dr. Phelps. I think that's an interesting, viable model that could definitely help practices, be more successful and grow their membership programs. Let's see.
And I think
go ahead.
More receptive to that now, as I said, because they've seen their sales fall on the dental side, and so they're looking for ways to offset that or bring it back. So I think we can. They might be more willing to negotiate now, right?
Yeah.
Nobody says we have to match the commission, but hey, if you pitched 100 dental insurance plans and sold none of them, I don't care what your commission is. You got nothing. Let's but if you sell 80 out of 100 at my level, whatever. Which would you rather have? 100% of nothing or 80% of something?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So I think that's a wonderful strategy. Another thing that I've been thinking a lot about is, I know, and I'm actually testing this in a few of our practices that are using our software. So in the United States, there are direct primary care medical offices that have a very similar model of membership, right, in the medical side. And I have a few practices that we're testing this out with, where they are just meeting up and doing like a strategic partnership with these medical offices that have the same type of membership model, right, and with the same patient base, not same patient base, but just the local patient base, right, that the patients are open to the membership model mindset, right? So that's something that I've kind of been experimenting with, and I think it's definitely worth a try in any office. You can go to, I think, dpcfrontier.org and look at any medical practices that are offering a membership program in your community, and you can reach out to them and see if they're willing to share your brochures and vice versa, right? I think that is something to be looked at as well. I don't know if you've done anything like that, Dr. Phelps, where you like find strategic partners and refer each other, right?
No, that's a great idea. I mean, you can't go wrong with cross promotion. If you both have 2,000 patients that are active and can market to each other's patient list, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's
a win for everybody.
Yeah, it's a win for everybody. So I think that's another strategy that a practice can do to leverage, other people's networks. I think I'm big on leverage, the technology today for marketing with the marketing channels like direct mail and Facebook if necessary, and then leverage other people's networks. I think that is a fantastic way. Much like you're leveraging a broker, you're leveraging now another medical office that has that active patient base. So I think this has been awesome so far.
And you can even build in a discount for each other's plans as part of your plan. So if you're a dental plan member, then you get 10% off their medical plan, and vice versa.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's a great idea. Totally leveraging each other and find a good partner, right? with hopefully a bigger practice than you. It's what I would do. But
yeah, well, like most things, I tell people this when I talk about marketing, like some of the offers that you should do instead of the $99 special. I'll say one of my things I say is, let other people's giveaways be your offer. Meaning, there's all kinds of companies just giving away their service for free, trying to get a foot in the door and hoping you'll like their service and will pay them to come back. Like maid services, cleaning services, what have you. So, approach these people and say, hey, you're giving it away anyway. So can I give away that 2-hour home cleaning on your behalf?
Oh, yeah.
And present you to my patients. And I'm getting all these companies say, yeah, please. Okay, great. So I leverage it and say, hey, this month only, clean teeth, clean house. Come in, and for any new patient, with every paid new patient exam and necessary cleaning and x-rays, and I'll send somebody to clean your house for 2 hours for free on me.
Oh, that's awesome. Right? Yeah, that's genius. Genius. And you're leveraging everyone's networks.
Exactly. Let their giveaways be your offer, right? Or your gift. Yeah. But the key with this is that I've learned is you have to vet these people yourself, which means if you're going to partner with another physician's office, you better go and pretend to be a patient and run through the sequence yourself, or send your team or whatever. Because I remember, the worst thing you can give someone is a bad experience.
Totally.
Right? So if you're referring somebody to this other business and they have a horrible experience, who are they going to tell, right? Everyone. And it's going to be, whose fault is it going to be? Yours. Because you sent them there.
Because you sent them
so
there,
you're right. Yeah, so make sure somebody that's been there as a patient, or you went through as a patient there, or whatever, and it's a good experience, right? And it makes sense, because I remember this group I had called Bubbly Nails. I was going to get them on a gift card program I had with vendors, other businesses, and I sent my team to this one place. I thought it looked like it was going to be a good place, and I paid for them to get their nails done. And I thought, well, what do you think? Would we refer patients here? And they were like, oh, God, this was horrible. They don't sterilize their stuff properly. They don't do this. They don't do that. And I was like, oh, shit. Okay, good to know. Let's try this other place. And the next month we tried the other place. And that wasn't as good. And finally, the third place, they were like, okay, these people know what they're doing. This is where we send people. I was like, okay.
Nice.
So, I want you got to make sure it's going to be a good experience.
Awesome. Yeah. No, I think that's great ideas. Ben, were you going to say something? I think I cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good.
Awesome. No, I think this has been an awesome episode, and I hope that it inspires a lot of practices out there to be a little bit more creative with marketing and to understand, the concepts of leveraging other people's networks and providing quality content or education to your potential patients. I think that's some of the best type of marketing that any practice or even any business can do in any industry. So, Dr. Phelps, do you have any closing thoughts that you want to share with the audience?
Just get a plan and start working it, right? Start somewhere.
Yeah, just start somewhere. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
One of the things we talked about and start with that, and just start building it from there.
Totally. What if any of our listeners, if they're wanting to learn more about you and what you do, you speak all over the country, you've got some books, you've got some courses you do, where can they find all this information?
Oh, good question. Any one of my websites. I probably need one website. I need one ring to rule them all. Like one
totally.
We do have all your websites, and we'll actually. Already? Yeah, I have all the websites for Dr. Phelps for all the companies that he owns. So we're going to post all of them in the show notes for everybody to see. Great resources. I mean, what you heard today is just it's just a tiny bit of information of the wealth of knowledge that Dr. Phelps is. And then if you check out some of the Facebook pages, I know that on the Dental Nachos, the Dental Success Institute, the Dental Business page, and then I saw you on a couple others. So Dr. Phelps has a lot of speaking engagements across the country that talk about many things, the principles of persuasion to membership plans, to how to market the membership plans and such. So we'll post as much as we can in the show notes. And then for anybody's interested, just check them out.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Ben. Okay. Well, Dr. Phelps, this has been an awesome show. Again, thanks for coming on for the 4th or 5th time. I've lost count already. So. Yeah.
Anytime. Always a pleasure.
Cool.
Yeah,
Thanks,
awesome.
Dr. Phelps.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. Good talking with you guys. Thank you.
Guys, talk soon.